The last video we went over how to calculate volume of prisms and pyramids, and this one we're going to do volume, and by the end you should be able to calculate the volume of cylinders and cones. And so I have a shape and I'm going to call it a cylinder, and it's the same formula. And here the big B is the area of the base, and the base is a circle. So I'm going to need a radius, which is 8, and a height, which is the distance between the two circles, is 15. Shape of base is a circle. Pi r squared is the area of the base. Pi 8 squared, which is 64 pi, which is base is 64 pi times 15, and that is, and remember I'm going to use 3.14 and I'm going to round to the 10th. So I'm going to go 64 times 15 times 3.14, and I'm going to get 3,014.4 centimeters cubed, because volume is always cubic units. Name of shape, cylinder. Formula, V equals big BH. R, I have a diameter which is 10. If I have a diameter which is 10, I divide by 2, which is a radius. And so my radius is 5, my height is 21, and I am doing, that's my base. So the shape of the base is a circle. The formula is pi r squared. I have pi times 5 squared, which is 25 pi. I bring this down, and I say 25 pi times 21, and then I'll do 21 times 25 times 3.14, and I get 1,648.5, and I had feet up here, so it's feet cubed. Cylinders can be on their side. That's a radius. Name of shape is a cylinder. Formula, volume equals big BH. Radius 3.5. I'm going to convert it already to a decimal. Height is the distance between the circles. Shape is a circle. Formula of the area of the base is pi r squared, which is pi times 3.5 squared. Which is 12.25 pi. Notice I don't change my pi until the very end. And then I'm going to pull this down here, so it's 12.25 pi, because this is all big B, times height, which is 2, which is 24.5 pi, which is equivalent to 76.93, but remember we're rounding to the tenths, so that's 77.0. I leave that 0 to indicate that I rounded to the 10th, and it is meters cubed. This is a cone. Oops, cone. Volume equals, it comes to a point, 1/3 big BH. Radius is 5. Height is 9. Shape of base is a circle. The formula is pi r squared. I have pi 5 squared, which is 25 pi. And then I'm bringing this down. Cones, careful, don't forget the third. Third times 25 pi times 9, which is 75 pi. And 75 times 3.14 gives me 235.5 inches cubed. Name of shape, cone, formula, comes to a point. It can come to a point at the bottom or a top. The cones can be either way. Volume equals 1/3 big BH. Radius, I have a diameter, so a diameter of 16 gives me a radius of 8, because diameter divided by 2 is radius, so that's 8. The height is the perpendicular distance from tippy top to center of circle, which is 22. Shape of base is circle. Formula for B is pi r squared. Numbers is pi 8 squared, which is 64 pi. And then I'm going to bring down, not forgetting my 1/3. 1/3 times 64 pi, because that's my big B, times my h, which is 22. So I get when I calculate that in, I get 1473.71, rounding to the 10th, which is here, 1473.7 meters cubed. Here's another cone. I am, name of shape is cone. Volume equals 1/3 big BH. Radius is 7. Now, notice that my height is from center of circle to tippy top, from center of the circle to tippy top. Now, if you notice, there's a shape hidden in here of a right triangle. This is not my height. So what I'm going to do is, if it's a right triangle, I'm going to come up here and I have a hypotenuse. So I'm going to do 25 squared minus 7 squared. And I'm going to do that, and that becomes 24 when I calculate it out. My height is 24. So on cones, be aware that they will give you this, which is called a slant height, and they need this, because height that you need here is perpendicular, and it goes from tippy top to center. So circle is my shape. Pi r squared is my formula. That's pi 7 squared, which is 49 pi. Bring this down here. I have 1/3. My big B is in my box. 49 pi. And my h is 24. And I'm going to calculate that out. And that gives me 1230.88. But I want you to round to the nearest tenth, 1230.9, and it was feet, so it's feet cubed. That is the volume of cylinders and cones. Cylinders, volume equals big BH. Cones, volume equals 1/3 big BH. And here are your formulas. Make sure you are referencing your formula chart as you are working on volume.